Hello, my name is Kara Lancey and I am currently a student at Aspen University. I am creating a video for my class ECE 410, Bridging Assessment in Early Education. Today we're going to be talking about assessment. Assessment is a way for us to measure a child's knowledge or what information they have learned on specific topics, subjects, or criteria that we are seeking. Today we're going to be discussing mainly performance-based assessments. Performance-based assessments are also known as authentic assessments. This is where a child is asked to complete a specific task or to do a specific action and then is assessed upon that topic or that task at hand. It is often times done by asking them to complete something rather than just to answer a question or to check the right answer of a question. There are many different examples of performance-based assessments, and today we are going to go over a few of them. The first ones that come to mind for myself was that of the draw me picture like we do in our school, or the draw a person test. And this is just simple. You ask the child, you give the child writing utensils and a piece of paper, and you ask them to draw a picture of themselves. From then that they get assessed on their capabilities, their fine motor skills, their cognitive abilities of being able to specifically draw body parts and to name which body parts are which, and so on. And for an example of that, I actually had my children do that this morning. This is my 4-year-old's drawing of herself, and this is my 6-year-old drawing of himself. And another way you could do a specific task-based assessment is that of writing or of cutting lessons. This is something that I like to do every month and a half or so in my own school. And you give the children a page like this, and you ask them to cut along the line and stop on the red dot. And that's all the instruction you give them, and you hand them the paper and the scissors. And during this assessment, you can assess how the child holds the paper, how the child holds the scissors, if the thumb is in the right hole, if the fingers are in the right hole, how they're able to manipulate the scissors as they cut, if they're able to follow the instructions of stopping at the red dot, or if they keep cutting, or if they just cut all over the paper. It's also great because you can do it, like I said, every month and a half, and you can assess the child's progress from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. You can do the same kind of task completion with pattern making, with being able to stack blocks. There's many different ways that you can do performance-based assessments. Performance-based assessments can also be done through observations of things they do every day. Part of performance-based assessments is assessing them on tasks of everyday learning, so in real-world events. So when you're outside with them on the playground, you can take observations and notations on if the child is able to ride a bike, is able to climb the stairs using alternating feet. There's a lot of different ways that you can observe a child completing a specific task. Now there's times that you may actually directly ask the child to complete a task. Let me see if you can walk along this balance beam, or how far can you throw this ball, and to see if they're throwing overhand or underhand. Are you able to catch this ball? So that's the way of asking a specific performance to be completed, or a specific task to be completed, to assess them on their learning. One of the ways that you can also do this is through that of projects. There's many different times that you can create a specific project in the classroom. The first one that comes to mind for me is when we like to construct things, using a lot of cognitive abilities. So you can give the children a wide range of materials, toilet paper rolls, tissue boxes, this, that, and the other, and have them try to create a structure, a castle, a building, and they can use different materials. And through this broad aspect of asking the children just to create, you can see how they can use their cognitive abilities to solve problems they encounter, how they're able to use their fine motors in getting specific pieces together, and it's can be judged differently per child and on their abilities in their trying in their completion of the task itself. And this is just one example of a project-based performance-based assessment. And another thing that you can do is you can actually interview the children on specific topics. If you've been learning about planting, you can ask the kids, so what exactly is it that a plant needs to grow? And, you know, they could talk about the sun and about the water and the dirt itself being nutrition and what it takes to actually get the seed to start sprouting. So by asking interview questions to them, you're actually extending their performance-based learning. The biggest one for me is that of portfolios. Once again, referencing all these materials, like I said, I like to take them about every month and a half, and it's a great way for not only me to track their progress throughout the year, but to also have as assessments to show the parents their progress. And you can also use different, written observations that you have of the children completing specific things. I also like the fact that most portfolios actually include the children in the selection of items for their portfolios. So if the child creates an amazing picture that they want to save, they can save that and put it in their portfolio to be able to be shared with the parents or other educational staff, especially if there's therapists or other individuals or different programs involved in the child's education. It could also be shared at these staffings, at these meetings, and so on. As you continue through the year, you can always add to it. Writing lessons is another one that I always put in my portfolios. Being able to judge the criteria of the largest to smallest and having them do that is another performance-based activity that I like to do. Again, doing patterning, A-B patterning or ABC patterning, depending on where the child's level is. And all of these are materials that I like to add into the portfolio that can both physically represent what the child's learned and be able to help as an assessment in our implementation into our assessment tools. So I hope that I have been able to give you some good examples of performance-based assessments and how I like to use them in the classroom. Thank you. Bye.